All right, we are going to call the Kalamazoo Historic District Commission meeting November 15th, 2022 to order. Could we have, I guess you're doing the voting, or the roll call?
Yep.
All right, can we have a roll call?
Yep. Grayson.
Here.
Berg.
Here.
Kastner.
Here.
And Underwood.
Here.
And obviously, Mitchell and Stuckey are not present.
Okay, can we have a motion to approve their absences?
I make a motion to approve their absences.
Thank you.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you. Those in favor will say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, hearing none, their absences are approved. Luis, is there any changes to the agenda as printed?
Yeah. So the second application contacted me today and wanted some more time to look over a door for the front of the house. So that application is going to be pushed back. We worked out an extension agreement just to say that it'll be brought before the next meeting that we have, and then the next time that we have a quorum.
Is that, that's 528 Village?
Yep.
Okay.
That's the only change.
All right. Is there a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Those in favor will say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the agenda as amended is approved. Are there any introduction of guests who are not applicants today? All right, hearing none. Is there any public comment on non-agenda items? All right, hearing none. Luis, could you please read the disclaimer?
Yep. Give me 1 second. And I'm sorry that it's not up on the screens. I'm not sure what's going on there. Chapter 16, Section 22 of the City of Kalamazoo Code of Ordinance states historical preservation is a public purpose. To serve that purpose, the Historic District Commission is hereby charged with the following responsibilities. A, the Kalamazoo Historic District Commission is empowered to regulate work on the exterior of historic resources and non-historic resources in historic districts in the City of Kalamazoo and shall otherwise have all powers invested in historic district commissions pursuant to the Local Historic Districts Act, MCLA 399201, and 1970 PA 169 as amended in 1992. To regulate work, to regulate work on resources which by city ordinance are historic or non-historic resources located within local historic districts, including but not limited to the moving of any structure into or out of, or the building of any structure in an historic district. The following documents are available in the Community Planning and Economic Development Department located at 245 North Rose Street. These documents will help assist property owners in understanding the responsibilities of owning property in a local historic district, MCLA 399 and 1970 PA 169 as amended in 1992. The Michigan Local Historic District Act. Code of Ordinances, City of Kalamazoo, Michigan, Chapter 16, Historic Districts, the Secretary of the Interior Standards for Rehabilitation and Guidelines for Rehabilitating Historic Buildings, 1990, Standards and Guidelines for Kalamazoo Historic Districts, and Map of Local Historic Districts in Kalamazoo. These documents and maps are also available on the City of Kalamazoo website at www.kalamazoocity.org/historic preservation.
Thank you, Luis.
Yep.
All right, there's no old business, so we're moving directly to new business. This is 1211 South Westnedge. If you could come up and state your name for the record and tell us about your project, please.
Sorry. You can, if you could just repeat your name, I apologize. I didn't
That's
have
okay.
you. Yep.
Mark Rizzola with the Sign Center, representing the LLC 1211 South Westnedge, and working with architects and LLC Management Company. Lockhart Management Company. We're presenting we removed a commercial. As you know, or you may know, that this facility was designed for low-income housing and whatnot. I wasn't a part of that process, but brought into the ADA compatible signs, wayfind directional, and the exterior sign. And we're presenting a 9 square foot sign on the corner of the building. I'm trying to think of what else you might need. I think everything's in the presentation materials, so if you have any questions. We did remove a I wanted to say it was about a 30 square foot commercial sign that was out in front illuminated that was perpendicular to the building and the road. So it's just, this is a remaining sign.
Just, can you, oh, it's aluminum sign, okay. Steel and aluminum,
It's a steel panel with aluminum flat cut letters,
great.
non-illuminated.
Now, I don't know, this did come, not the sign, but the building came before us a while back, and, yeah, I think it was pretty well received. So I personally don't have much comment on this. I think it looks great. We're excited about the project.
Thank you.
I am assuming, you know, it all applies with zoning and all that good stuff. That's not
Yeah, it
really
was
our
already approved
purview.
by the city, Jared Chambers. And that was some of the complication I just wanted to bring to attention for you folks, and I'm respectfully what you guys do, and I've worked with this group prior, but it was never a clear path for us as sign providers, and so this got so far down the pike that this literally has been installed already, and that would obviously be in no one's best interest to do that. I wish there was a better way that we're alerted, when
So
this
you-
process needs to be.
Let me just ask a question.
Yeah.
You have to pull a sign permit, though.
Correct.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
typically with a building permit, it
Yeah, and I
gets
can show
flagged,
you-
it
yeah,
gets
I just-
flagged there to have to come to us, so maybe that's something. If
Yeah,
the
it needs
si-
to be a clear path. I can show you.
Sometimes it cuts out, I'm sorry.
Okay.
It should come back on. No.
I believe I did a printout for that. The website is a little unclear, and the BSA Online, as a sign provider in navigating that can be a little cumbersome at times. I know Portage is having a lot of problems with theirs. And, COVID, and people aren't at their desk all day. I mean, it's been odd. But anyway, I was aware of the historic review. A lot of times, these are done, we used to work with Sharon a lot, for the downtown review. And it's not a big deal, but you can see that it says that, ready to issue, not in any kind of hold pattern, and approved. So at that point, I turn the key and start buying product so that I can get our sign done. And with today's, resources, that's a forever process. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that it is not a clear path for any other type of signage that needs, I've got another one like in Crosstown. Does that have to go through you folks? I've got an approved permit.
Not in there, and I think that the issue that happened with this one, and Jeremy was right, that when a sign permit gets applied for, I get flagged if it's in a local historic district.
Yeah.
The BSNA online is fed directly by, as far as I can tell, by our internal BSNA, like our back-facing system, so those do communicate with each other. When this one came in, I think that I just communicated with the person that was listed in our system,
Yeah.
which you said was not the correct person.
Correct, yeah.
So that was the issue, I believe.
Yeah, okay, that might have
Someone that
been
just-
something that, yeah.
It wasn't the right guy.
Yeah.
Because usually I try to get on them and reach out within a couple days.
And I would think that would be the appropriate means, yeah.
And, I think that there's kind of two different segments of people too that are going to be applying for signs. People that have been in the game for a while know, like, okay, these are the hoops that I'm going to need to jump
Yep.
through. For Downtown Design Review Committee or for the Historic District, so they usually kind of apply for that ahead of even doing the sign permit to get on the radar with me. And then there's, I think, the newer sign people or people that haven't dealt with the Historic District that then are like, oh, I didn't know I needed to do that. Thanks for reaching out. And I think that you obviously fall in. Because it sounds like you are familiar with the process, so I apologize that
Yeah.
this one.
No, that's okay. I mean, the bad part would be if there was an issue overall. Obviously, that's where we all go backwards.
Yep.
Yeah.
Both our client and I would think, all of us as a provider, so.
Yeah, and I think that this one, obviously, the former Knights Inn Hotel and now the Lodge House is a non-contributing resource in the Vine South Street Local Historic District. The ordinance just says that all signs, or not the ordinance, but our standards and guidelines just say that all signs have to come before us, before the Historic District Commission. So that's why it got brought
Yeah.
in, just to clarify for
And
everyone.
do you still manage these as from administrative approval, or is it still?
So the way that it's written right now, and it just says that all signs have to go to the Historic District Commission. So downtown signs for downtown design review do have a more administrative lean on them.
Yeah, okay.
Slant, whatever, not a
Yeah.
lean, but
Yeah. Well, I found it unique too, that I know that some of my conversations with Sharon, some of the signs that I felt were grossly out of scale were representative of something from the past. So that gave different leverage to someone that was trying to put a sign up, 10 blocks down the street. There was some instances that I thought were really kind of ironic, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
Definitely. And I appreciate you bringing it to, our attention that the process was cumbersome for you this time.
Yeah, and again, we've done it enough, but yeah.
Yeah.
there's- make sure you get this over to so-and-so, or
Yep.
in your communication to me, obviously got thwarted, so.
Yeah, definitely. And I
Okay.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yep, thank you.
Any further discussion? Is there a motion?
I make a motion to approve the installation of the sign as specified. The proposal complies with the Secretary of Interior Standards 1, 9, and 10. The commission approves a certificate of appropriateness for this project, and approval of final details will be delegated to the Historic Preservation Coordinator.
Thank you, Dan. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Is there any public comments on this before we vote? All right, hearing none, is there any additional conversations or discussion among the commission? All right, hearing none, Luis, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Yep. Grayson,
Yes.
Berg,
Yes.
Kastner,
Yes.
and Underwood.
Yes.
Awesome. So it's approved, and I will send over the paperwork for you just
Thank you.
to verify all that for you.
Right.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thanks for
it.
coming out.
Yep, of course.
Thank you. All right, so looks like that was our only case for the night.
Yep.
So approval of minutes, I have a question. I wasn't here last meeting.
Yep.
Can we approve them with 3 or?
Nope, so we'll need, the bylaws are kind of unclear on this, but I think that we should just postpone it if you weren't here, and then we can push it to the next meeting that we have.
Okay. Everybody good with that? All right, we will push that off to the next meeting if you could make sure that makes the agenda.
Yep.
Anything on administrative approvals, Luis, that you'd like to bring to our attention?
Nothing jumps out at me. The one that we had actually got rescinded as well. So they were able to get the existing light working, so they didn't need to put one back up. So there actually have not been any admin approvals, so.
Okay. Well, great meeting. Looks like we were to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Thank you, Dean. Is there a second?
I second that.
All right, all those in favor will say aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, hearing none, we are adjourned.